What up, Internet Land? Mark Fest, author, creator of Survival Guide for Living Car-Free in America. Want to share a little bit about hanging in the hinterland. This past weekend, I pedaled down to a block party event in Fairmount, North Dakota. It's about 15 miles to our south. Nice ride on both Highway 127-2 on the dirt road back from. With that, some things about living in hardcore hinterland country. The town I live in, with its 12,000 people, it's got 99% of everything I want within its 30 blocks by 30 blocks. Though for sake of knowing what's around, it is wise to explore. See what's in the outlying townships. Next dot on the map from here is Fairmount with a whole 350 people. It's a farm town on railroad tracks, about 6 blocks by 6 blocks, and a decent little main street. Visiting, exploring places like these is fun. It teaches the lay of the land, gives an idea of what's around, even if the answer's not much, and you still should have an idea. See for yourself. Their event, Flock to Fairmount, had music, food, raffles, car meet, tractor pull, plus 4 different garage sales about town. Was it blockbuster epic? Was it exciting? Not really. Though it does give one a reasonable excuse to go somewhere and poke about without anyone being all, what you doing here, boy? That last point, it's not like people in deep hinterlands are hostile, paranoid, mean, or anything like that. It's just that when you're talking about a place not just off the interstate, but also off the 2-lane north-south Highway 127, they don't get a ton of visitors, and in a world where people chill and drink in their front yards, they'll invite you over for a couple, and when "what you doing in town" comes up, block party is a good, reasonable, solid answer. And you'll get a reply something like, you coming down that Highway 127, boy, you dang old crazy. In other words, local respect. And a plus about local respect from Fairmount, I don't specifically plan to return except for maybe next year's event. But people from there come up here a fair bit. So it is entirely likely that I will see people from Fairmount up here. And it's never a bad idea to know people local to the area. Now, something to know about small towns from the viewpoint of car-free. Because if you work online and you buy everything online, it's easy to think, oh, I can just buy a house for $40,000, pay cash for it, and move out to the end of the world, and who cares? When you're in a small town like that, in context of Fairmount, you are in a family of about 300 people. Some of that is actual biological family, or in the least, it's people you've been with your entire life, which means your life, day to day, is an open book. Where I live, 12,000 people, is a market town. You need eyeglasses. You need an x-ray, blood test. You need to make a deposit at the bank or get something signed. You come here. At least if you don't want to deal with Fargo. Part of that is that those smaller towns don't have the money to support those kinds of services. Other of it is that if you go get a blood test for something, everybody in your town will know. They'll probably know the results before you do. People in those small towns go a couple of towns over or to the next county to do those things. That's how they keep their privacy. So, small town plus car free. It's one thing to pedal 15 miles when it's 85 degrees out once every week or two. It's entirely another to do the same when it's minus 10. So take care with that if you're thinking of moving to a small town car free. Oh, if you're autistic like myself, try to get that shaking of hands and eye contact thing at least a little down, because that's just part of it. Going to those paved 2-lane highways that are nearly empty, speed limit 60, those are kind of dangerous for cyclists. The line for fatalities getting hit by a car is about 30-35 miles an hour. So pedaling along, you get hit by a car doing anywhere from 50 to 80 miles an hour, you're not going to be long for this world. The only way to survive getting hit by a car on those roads is to not get hit by one at all. Visibility is super key. So some of what I wore for the ride down: red super high tops, reflector strips, reflective covering for backpack. Would have worn this for a second shirt if it was cooler out. About 90 minutes to get down there. Walked around, hung around for about 3 hours. Vehicles from the car meet were pretty cool. North Dakota has a strong car collecting scene. People like finding old, beat-up cars and restoring them. Summers here are the ideal riding environment. Lots of open space means lots of open road. I'm not into cars myself, though it's a plus for me that somebody with a 1947 Chevy pickup doesn't want to have to go to the end of the earth to find a replacement fender. So people like that generally take care on the road. Very much a plus for me. 2 hours to get back on the other route home. Dirt road, thankfully hard gravel, hard dirt. Soft dirt is really hard to bike on. Even with fat tires, a lot of resistance, a lot of drag, especially when you're already tired. Nicely car-free though. Only had 2 other cars pass me either way on the way back. And even though I was dead tired by the time I made it home, I'm glad I went that way simply to see the other route to and from, because someday I could need to know. Next day, if that kind of riding is more than what you're used to, or if you're completely out of shape, don't know anyone like that, plan for that. Plan for the next to be a kickback day. Going through email, watching movie kind of day, because you probably won't want to do much. Though I did make my rower plus gym trip to keep from stiffening up. So if you live car-free, even if you're not, invoke that 12-year-old thing. Take a day to hit the road. If you got kids, have them join. It'll be something for you and them to talk about, and you'll get a better idea what's around you. So for that, and more about living car-free, both for the fun days out and simply living, check out Survival Guide for Living Car-Free in America, because it covers more than just ditching home for a day. And of course here, like, subscribe, especially comment, so I have an idea what might help. With that, Mark out.